Okay. Wait, no, that's not what I want. There we go. That,
Yeah, make it black.
um,
Okay, so let's get a
that's the face.
let's get the basics down. So you're better at drawing females, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we know it's gonna be a female character if that's what you're good at. Um,
Give her some
so are we making this character more
fan.
realistic, or are we putting her in a certain universe?
I don't know. She could be in your
In
universe
my
with the
universe that I've made? Okay. Okay,
yes.
so that leaves a lot of options. That leaves a lot of options of what this character is. So we first need some type of background before we draw anything. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. All right, so first thing, the character design, you have to have a story. You have to have a background. You got to know who you're drawing because you can't just draw off the bat. That's not how character designing works. I'm not a professional character designer. I'm just gonna say that flat out, so I don't get any criticism for that. This is just how I do characters. Yeah. So let's get a character down. So we know it's in my universe. That leaves a lot of options. Um,
Okay, first off, what is she? Because I know like there are different like people from different dimensions in your
yes. So
universe.
there's Homeworld, which is basically our universe, the one we know,
Human?
and the economy in Homeworld. Basically anti non-human, which are basically anything that's not human, like zombies, half dragon people, people that can wield
Hold on, I guess
fire.
zombies and half dragon people are included.
Anything's basically included because that's what we made several dimensions. We have the elemental dimension. Okay, so every dimension is given a name. It's kind of a given name.
Wait,
Easy
no,
to, easy, easy
Reggie,
to identify.
I know who I want to. I know what I want to make my character. I'm gonna share it now.
All right, what character are we doing? You want to do a zombie?
Yes.
Okay, so I actually do have a zombie character. That's actually, you see my icon?
Wait. No, I don't see her icon.
Okay, so go to the Google Meet.
Yeah,
And
I'm at it. I
go to people. Do you see my icon now?
yes.
Okay, that is my zombie character. Her name is Manya. So this is how zombies were kind of introduced to the world. You ready?
Actually, I think I changed my mind.
You don't want a zombie. Okay.
Okay, what else?
Okay, so every dimension they're identified to basically easily identify the people that are there. So elemental dimension is basically a dimension where elementals rule, and their economy.
Fantasy?
Yes, there is a fantasy dimension. It's basically what you find in a fantasy dimension. Each dimension has a different economy. So there's elemental, fantasy, cybernetic, homeworld. Then there's the quantum realm, which the quantum realm in my universe no one knows about except for very few. And quantum realm. So I'll describe each one thoroughly. Elemental dimension is a given. Element with where the elements rule. There's the main elements, there's the subclass elements. So like there would be so there'd be earth element, right? Earth element, and then there'd be metal, which is basically a sub element of earth, and they can't control much besides metal. So there's sub elements. The discriminant element one there is rogue, which is basically pure magic, and they're treated as slaves. Their government is very old-fashioned. Their economic system is very old-fashioned. Fantasy dimension, basically kingdoms. They couldn't advance much because they had more problems to deal with rather than advancements. They had to deal with all this magic, this class system, and that's the only way to keep everything in order, but everyone's kind of treated equally. Then there's cybernetic dimension, and that one's basically, it's self-explanatory. It's just basically where technology is way in the future.
Wait.
And there's
I want to make a robot.
Okay, you do. So cybernetic dimension. Okay, let me get into the cybernetic dimension. There is.
I want to make her super anime.
Are we doing super anime? Okay. So the cybernetic dimension, basically, it's less populated by humans and more populated by robots, basically, or like AI, intelligent AI. They can rule on their own. That's how it is far in the future, and they basically their original planet or like dimension has been trashed by old cybernetic discoveries, and so it's basically there's a huge wasteland under it, and they're basically on floating kind of islands ish. And they've harvested,
cool.
yeah, they've harvested like meteorite power and all that stuff. So yeah, basically cybernetic, mostly robotic, less human.
I know what I want. A robot bird thing.
All right, so you want a robot bird lady? What's her past? What's her story? What's her personality like? Let's get that down. What's her personality like?
Well, okay. Most characters I make are just pretty stupidly happy-go-lucky, so I'm just gonna make her an airhead that likes things.
An airhead? An airhead. Okay, so we got it. Okay. So did she? Okay, so is she? So she's definitely. Is she completely a robot, or is she half robot, half human, like a cyborg?
I don't know if I'd want to make her a cyborg. I want her to be a robot.
Full robot. All right, I got you. So it's a robot lady who's an airhead.
All right. So what should her name be? That's the biggest.
That's the biggest thing, really.
I think kind of. I'm also bad at backstories.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna help you with the backstory. That's why I've been like trying to discuss all the other areas. What's her motivation? What motivates her? What's her like goal? What does she want to do?
I don't know.
Like, does she have a certain occupation?
Well, since I was thinking, since as you said, like beneath it is a wasteland and they all live in cities, like that kind of. I was thinking maybe something either with dealing with transportation, or like. Yeah, transportation or something like that.
Like so she can be a messenger.
Yeah, but I'm second guessing that because it's supposed to be like really hyper developed technology, so they might just send things
via cloud, via cloud. Well, I mean, you can't really. Okay, so she's a robot, so she can carry heavy things, right?
Yeah.
So why not have her like deal with cargo?
Okay.
But like, she's an airhead, so. I was gonna say private cargo, so that way it's only a one person doing it and not like a whole company. But she's an airhead. Well, I mean, I guess she could be following orders under somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So she deals with private cargo. Thus the reason why it's just like her working under somebody. Is this gonna be corrupt? No, it's cybernetic dimension. It's not really that corrupt. They're really working more in advancement. Okay, so she deals with private cargo, or do you want private cargo or public? Because if it were public cargo, then yeah, it would be more of a whole company deal. But she's a bird lady, so she would have to deliver. So you want her to deliver things herself, right? Since she can fly.
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, we'll have to make it private. So she works for someone directly.
Since she's an airhead and doesn't understand much things because she's kind of dumb. Maybe she like. Unwittingly walked into like a very shady business of some kind
and doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
And so is she hunted down? Like, is she going to be hunted down?
Probably. Like maybe like there's some like.
Okay. How old is she? Because so there's AI age, which they can be several years old, because they're AI, they're robots, but they still think. Basically, the robots they still think. They can think on their own, and they can develop on their own. They're basically like humans, but robots. But they can live much longer, because they're robots. How old is she?
That's a good question.
Okay, so I'll ask this. How old is her model, and how old is her mentality?
Well, I was thinking maybe she'd be more of an older model, but because of how...
how old her design is, because of the fact that she has wings.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe more like a little bit of an older technology, so maybe she'd be a bit older. Okay.
I like the design you're going for, because the newer models have like these floating... Okay, so newer models have spheres as their joints, and they're like kind of floating, so they have moving limbs that can move in any direction. An older model like you're doing, which is this is perfect for an older model, they can't move their limbs as freely. So what you're doing is perfect, is awesome, it's perfect. Because you've seen Reginald, my main character, right? Thus the reason.
Yeah,
he's my alias, if nobody knew. So he has like that floating orb on his robotic arm. That's the more advanced.
Maybe I'll also make her a bit more wiry to be like more
of an old. Oh, so that'd be really old. Okay.
So she'd be really old.
So her model would be really old, but her mentality would still be like. Okay, so now let's not go with the airhead aspect. That would make her like probably 10. Let's go with like an actual mentality age. You know what I mean? Like, what would her actual age be if she was human?
She was actually human. She'd probably be. I don't know. So,
Then again, like they don't have to have much experience in anything because they can just be like data-based into knowing a lot. They can be like through data and code and everything like that. So I mean, you can make her young, her mentality young, but she just, I don't know. She doesn't have to do much. All she has to do is fly things. Okay. So she's an airhead. She works for a private company. How many years has she worked for the company? Or not? It's a private company. Private company. How long has she worked
yeah.
with this guy?
Well, if she's an older model, then probably a while.
Okay. And so she just accidentally ran into a shady business. All right. And now she has people coming for her, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so now she's being targeted. She's an airhead, so I wouldn't assume that she'd be able to get out of the mess herself.
Yeah.
So is she gonna rely on some help, or is she gonna go to like a different dimension?
Well, I don't know. How does society work in?
Okay, so cybernetic realm isn't necessarily corrupt in a sense. The only reason it becomes corrupt is because they start working for the NHC.
Is of what?
Because they start dealing having deals with the NHC, which of course we already know is corrupt. Becomes corrupt at one point. So that's why they become corrupt. So what I'm assuming is the reason of the corruption would probably be dealing with like illegal items only found in the cybernetic dimension being shipped to homeworlds for the NHC, like as a black market type deal.
All right.
So if any shitty business would happen, it would be with the NHC, which would be in homeworld.
Well, if she's working for this private company, wouldn't it make sense? And like, and she's delivering stuff to the thing that you mentioned. That's
NHC, yeah.
Correct. NHC. Wouldn't it make sense that someone from NHC would like step in?
Do you want one of my characters to do it? Because I have several NHC characters.
Sure.
This is just for storyline. This is actually kind of interesting. I didn't realize I would actually be invested in this so much. Because I thought we were just gonna go with like a random design, like random character, random background, and let's just like have some fun with it. But no, this is actually since it's in my universe, it's actually a lot cooler. So, all right. So someone from the NHC is coming after her. So that would mean one of my characters, since we're not really creating more characters at the moment. We're just trying to help you create one.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have kind of options here of who is going to be sent after you. So it definitely can't be Atticus, because Atticus does not go to is not on an on-field NHC officer or special officer, because he's more of like the chemist. He deals with like chemistry and like he talks to the dead. You wouldn't be dealing with Atticus. So who you would be dealing with would be Reginald, Faith, or Zane. Now, you would most likely be dealing with Zane since you can fly.
All right.
He can fly.
Cool. Who's Zane?
Zane is the Dragonborn. He's half dragon, half human. He was basically a forced birth for the NHC. They genetically made it because you can't have a mammal and a reptile give birth to something. So that would have been painful. I guess, yeah, so that would have been painful. Very painful. So they had to genetically modify it. So he's not completely human or dragon, he's dragon, human, and kind of other stuff in there. Because they couldn't just do it straight out of a reptile and a mammal. That wouldn't work. So he's a dragon half-breed, supposedly. That's what it's brought out publicly. And he is a gunman. He's expert at using different weapons. and his expertise is full frontal assault.
Ooh.
Yes, and since you can fly, he would be the most likely candidate to be sent to you because he can fly as well. Yes. So
What is he personality-wise?
he is he follows orders. Like without question, he follows orders. So his backstory is kind of weird. But yeah, he follows orders. He's very, very direct, but he's also kind of like on the wild side. Like he likes to kind of have fun. He's not as serious as Reginald is. He can be with given orders, but he wants to be like respectful,
lighthearted.
Yeah, he wants to be kind of lighthearted about it. So he's kind of like a general, like teacher's pet kind of type deal.
Yeah.
He has that kind of aspect to him. Like he wants to do what he's been told to do. He kind of has like a wild personality. Do you know like those teenagers that are like, yeah, whatever, but like a punk-ish? He has kind of like a punkish vibe to him. He kind of like cracks jokes every now and then.
All right.
Yeah, so that's kind of his personality. Yeah, if he was sent to kill you or capture you, he would do it, and he would not waver from his objective.
Cool.
Not even if you were attractive, because he already likes someone. He likes Faith, and Faith likes Reginald, so he's kind of envious of Reginald, and Reginald's his captain in his squad.
Okay, what are facial features in the cybernetic dimension like?
Basically, you can make it, since it's an older model, it'd be more robotic. So they necessarily wouldn't have a nose, because they're not looking for appeal. They're mainly looking for function. That's what the older models are for. The newer models are looking for appeal. So you don't need to have a nose if you don't want to.
Good, I don't draw noses.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if anybody would be sent to capture or kill, how bad was the operation that she walked into? We're making it really bad, we're making it like mild, or is she just being captured? Or is it a kill?
Probably mild, because like after all she does just the liver stuff.
Alright, so yeah. Okay, so it'd be mild, so you'd be captured. You'd just be captured, questioned, and probably not dismantled. You wouldn't be killed. Like your character would probably be captured, questioned, but she's an airhead, so I'm guessing she would be like let go of it pretty easily.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. Since it is mild, if it were more serious, there's no question asked to be killed. They were probably, since you are a robot, they'd probably like rewire the character's memory.
Okay.
Okay. Would she be able to escape? Because is she faster than Zane? That could be an issue. If she was faster than Zane.
How about like I'm gonna add in more of the zany side of her. How about he overestimates her and he expects her to do things like logically, but then she just does the dumbest shit in existence.
Yeah, because she's an air. Okay, he overestimates her drastically. All right, I can definitely see him doing that. He doesn't expect her to be an airhead. All right, so he's thinking that this chick was a spy, and that she can do all this tricky stuff that she really can't do. Or to be like really involved or really sneaky, really smart. In all reality, she's just an airhead. So if that's the case, she would probably escape. Because she would be so unpredictable to him. She'd be so super unpredictable to him.
Because he'd expect her to not be dumb.
Yeah, that's funny. I forgot that aspect. Thank you for adding that in. That actually adds a lot of character design. Okay, so she would probably like be set free. What's her occupation afterwards? Like, what does she try? What does she try to do after?
Maybe she'd be a bit more interested in the goings on of the, like, the homeworld thing, because, like, she just got fucking kidnapped.
Okay, so she's now in homeworld, and does she do delivery there because that's what she knows she's good at?
Probably.
Okay, then she would be more of a public service rather than private if she's going from another dimension to another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't be trusted as much to deal with private items. So she'd be more of a public, and she'd be accepted because it's not digitally sent like in cyber. It'd be more items for her to carry. So I guess she'd be delivering more mail.
Yep. It'd be a neat little side story.
Nice. Okay, so the real question is, do you actually want me to like add this character into the actual story? Because I could do that.
You can do whatever you want. It's your universe.
All right. So we got D over here, a messenger, working for a private company. You want to? Okay, so should I be explaining the past, or should you, or the backstory because it's your character?
I don't know.
You can explain it if you're not too distracted with drawing.
Okay, she's a robot bird woman, and she is dumb.
She's dumb. She's a bird whammon and she's dumb. That's all you need to know, folks. And that's the end of the episode. See you guys next episode. Really, Wing?
I'm trying to put circles on her because, she's a bit of an older model and she'll probably try to want to fit in with, like, the rest of society, because you mentioned that at some point, and you also said that there are a lot of circles. So I'm trying to put some circles into, like, some circular decals that she might have put on herself to look more appealing, I guess.
Clothing? Well, no, because not even Doxy wears clothing. He just wears Joel's jacket.
And I feel like clothing would get, like, stuck on all her jaggedy jags.
That makes sense. Bird lady. She can carry stuff on her wings. She can carry stuff on her tail. She can carry stuff at the back of her legs. She can carry stuff with her claws. She can carry a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's her job to carry things.
It is her job to carry many things. I hope my explanation of cybernetic dimension and my little advice here and there helped.
Okay, I'm gonna give her cat ears because I feel like it.
No, don't. Why? She can wear a headband and like it have cat ears, like she's trying to get with the pop culture.
She's a weeb.
She's like, no. I mean, I guess she's trying to, like, she's into pop culture. But okay, so you do know that in Homeworld during this time, like, they're all under one, like, they're not under one rule, but they all have their own districts, so there's no such thing as Japan or the United States anymore.
Oof. Okay, wait.
So there's like everything's in districts now. And I think there's a total of 20 districts. Let me go to my Discord to figure that. Yeah, I have information all over the place, so don't judge me for that.
I think, like how Doxy has those headphone things?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe something more like that, except they're just her actual ears.
Oh, hers are like antenna type deal, so she can receive more information easily. Because again, she's not in the cybernetic dimension, so she can't easily do that. She has to do it herself. So it's more like an extension to her. There's a total of 16 districts. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a map. It's a map. Okay, so every district has a specific something to it. All right, and they're important for different reasons. So we don't necessarily have what's in them, but we have what's important from them. So District 1 is the gate to the fantasy dimension. That's what's in District 1. District 2 is a human sanction. What that means is that that's where basically no non-humans are allowed.
That's racist.
and it covers a decent amount of area. District 3 is an elemental resource temple. So there was World War 3 and World War 4. World War 4 was over the lack of resources. And here, I'll actually bring up a Google Docs. I am explaining a lot. Welcome to my universe, people. I have a lot of shit.
Something with Reggie. I just thought of something dumb.
Mm.
And if it's something dumb, then she'd totally do it.
What?
She somehow manages to, like... She accidentally gets her way to District 2. Just completely by accident.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Then you would answer directly to Reginald. Like,
oh, no.
You would not get off easy with that. You would either be shot down by the people that live there, or, someone actually hired to kill you.
Oh.
Reginald will definitely come for you. Either that, or someone from a higher standpoint.
Why a higher up? She's just a random.
Because it's considered a threat, and a human sanction, a non-human, a robotic flying object in their airspace, that is considered a terrorist threat.
She's just flying around like, whoa, the sky's pretty blue, and like they're just like terrorist.
Because like you don't know because no non-human or robotic object is supposed to fly through that, because it's a human sanction.
No robots.
No robots, because that's considered non-human. Because they don't know what's going on. Yes, okay. If you haven't noticed by now, the future in my world is very discriminative. All right. I even even in my story I'm writing. I'll even read it right now. Discrimination, the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. Discrimination will always exist. No matter how hard people try, there will always be a reason to undermine one another. Discrimination can only be targeted in another direction. It can never cease to live within the hearts of humanity. That's literally the first paragraph in my story.
Hey, gee.
All right. So, I'm going back to like the whole world wars and stuff. Okay. So, homeworld year 2567 AD, the 21st of March, the beginning of the Fourth World War, in which the Sovereign Alliance fought a 10-year war against the Eastern Province. Years prior, Korea and Germany began their attempt at conquering the Eastern Hemisphere in order to draw what resources they could out of the already exhausted nearby nations, leaving themselves as the two most powerful communist nations to have ruled the majority of the land they had claimed their own.
Wait a second. First of all, Germany is communist?
This is so much in the future, all right? This is
why do they wait? Never mind.
What? Say something.
I just remembered. I was behind, like. No, never mind.
Okay. Yeah, years prior, blah, blah, blah. What resources they could draw out of the already exhausted nearby nations, leaving themselves as the two most powerful communist nations to have ruled the majority of the land they had claimed their own, forming an alliance that was known as the Eastern Province. These two powerful and feared superpowers aimed their hunger towards the West. The Western nations formed their own territory. Oh no, not territory. I don't know why I said this.
There is my bird whammon.
Your bird whammon.
Original character, do not steal.
Do not steal. Put your signature.
I did put my signature.
Oh, you did. And don't forget to send it to me so I can post it on my IG.
Okay, and I'm gonna put a little boop.
A little boop. A little boop boppity.
Boop.
Boppity boopity. What are you doing?
Boop. Boop. Making her shiny. Boop. Boop. Nah, looks bad. Up. There we go.
Making her shiny. Starships, remnants and fly.
Touch the sky. What the hell hell is that noise? That does not spark joy. Reggie? Reggie? Is that your Stitch impression from Lilo and Stitch?
Oh no. Oh, it's fun.
Okay, there's
Baka.
bird whammon.
Baka. Reggie the Tsundere. God, no one animate that, please.
7-Eleven _
P16.
P6.
Don't forget to put it as a PNG.
And I always remember.
Do you though? Do you?
Yeah. Literally everything up here is a PNG.
You're a PNG.
Thank you.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is Disorderly Conduct. Hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Bye.
Of the third offense. No, not third offense. Fourth offense. Fourth offense. Join us next Tuesday, or the following Tuesday when this is uploaded, for a very, very special video. Alright, bye-bye. Gotta say bye, Wing. Oh, there you go. Say bye again.
I said bye.
Say bye again for good luck.
Bye. What do you think of my bird whammon?
Stupid. Yawning. Your bird whammon is awesome. I wish you had a personal connection with your bird whammon, or some connection with your bird whammon.
She is bird whammon. What else is there to say?
Oh no, I guess I was just hoping that, like, you had a connection. Because this sparks joy.
This sparks joy. This does not spark joy.